Submission by C.D. Reiss. Narrated by Joe Raylan. 1. At the height of singing the last note, when my lungs were still full and I was switching from pure physical power to emotional thrust, I was blindsided by last night's dream. Like most dreams, it hadn't had a story. I was on top of a grand piano on the rooftop bar of Hotel K. The fact that the real hotel didn't have a piano on the roof notwithstanding, I was on it and naked from the waist down, propped on my elbows. My knees were spread further apart than physically possible. Customers drank their $30 drinks and watched as I sang. The song didn't have words, but I knew them well, and as the strange man with his head between my legs licked me, I sang harder and harder, until I woke with an arched back and soaked sheets, hanging on to a middle C for dear life. Same as the last note of our song. And I held it like a stranger was pleasuring me on a non-existent piano. I drew that last note out for all it was worth, pulling from deep inside my diaphragm, feeling the song rattle the bones of my ribcage, sweat pouring down my face. It was my note. The dream told me so. Even after Harry stopped strumming and Gabby's keyboard softened to silence, I croaked out the last tearful strain as if gripping the edge of a precipice. When I opened my eyes in the dark club, I knew I had them. Every one of them stared at me as if I had just ripped out their souls, put them in envelopes, and sent them back to their mothers, COD. Even in the few silent seconds after I stopped, when most singers would worry that they'd lost the audience, I knew I hadn't. They just needed permission to applaud. When I smiled, permission was granted, and they clapped all right. Our band, Spoken Not Stirred, had brought down the Thelonious Room. A year of writing and rehearsing songs and a month of getting bodies in the door had paid off right here, right now. The crowd, that was what it was all about. That was why I busted my ass. That was why I had shut out everything in my life but putting a roof over my head and food in my mouth. I didn't want anything from them but that ovation. I bowed and went off stage, followed by the band. Harry bolted to the bathroom to throw up, as always. I could still hear the applause and banging feet. The room held 100 people, and the audience sounded like 1,000. I wanted to take the moment to bathe in something other than the disappointment and failure that accompanied a career in music, but I heard
Sample complete. Ready to continue?